Oh,
I'm
okay.
starting now.
Great. Thank you, Nana.
All right. Okay. So you're recording now?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. All right. So, well, it's nearly 10 past. So, should we get going? Yep. All right. Okay. So, thanks everybody for coming back. So, here we are on the third week of the club sponsors and club mentors masterclass. So just a quick refresher. So the first meeting we looked in particular at the sponsor role, and then last week we took a bit more of a deep dive into the mentoring, and this week we're going to more to cover on the mentoring side as well. So we've got a few presentations coming up, and we've got Tanu and Lana helping out with those. So should be quite interesting. Now we've allowed 2 hours for this, but I don't think it's going to take that long, especially as we've got a small group. So I think it might be more like an hour, so that's fine. But we can certainly get through all the content. So what we're going to talk about, we're going to first of all Tanu's going to talk to us about the Distinguished Club program in some detail, and the whole point of today's session is to help you understand all the things that you will need to know as a mentor to help clubs, so you're confident with the kind of things you need to share with them. So one of the things you need to talk about is a Distinguished Club program, and then I'll be talking about how to make meetings interesting, which is really important in keeping members engaged and keeping them coming back for more. And I'll also be talking about how to evaluate a speech when you're new. And then we're going to take maybe a short break if we need to. And then when we come back, we'll hand over to Lana, who's going to deal with pathways in action, obviously a really important part of the whole Toastmasters experience. And then Tanu is going to talk to us about club officers and club central, and we've just got a little very short section on support team, and then back to Lana to talk about online meetings and how you can handle those and how teach people how to deal with those, and also dealing with things like physical distancing in real life meetings, and then we can deal with any questions and answers, and we're done. So all right. All right, so let's get going. So let's get straight into it, and we'll hand over to DTM Tanu, who's going to talk to us about the Distinguished Club program.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you very much. So now, the first question I would like to ask everyone is, why do we need Distinguished Club program? Why? What is DCP? Just for your information, DCP is just a vital sign for a Toastmasters club. How you know your health, your club's health? So it's only some metric developed by Toastmasters, some KPI we can say, to take measurement what we are doing in our club. And we will go into detail hand-on. So if you have your laptop with you, please join me in log in to the Toastmaster website. I will share now the screen. Let me share the screen right now. If you have and if you can access internet, it's good. So the first thing is we will log in together to Toastmaster website. Yes, when you log into toastmaster.org, you will find the homepage like this. Is that okay? I think you get familiar with this for sure if you are a club officer. Any of you never log in? I don't believe so. So we go ahead. With this, when you log in with mobile phone, you may see a little bit smaller screen, but it's similar. Don't worry. When you log in with a mobile phone, you may see the three stripes on the left top corner. Just click that, you will see the menu like this. But now we will go to Leadership Central. But I recommend you to explore all the tabs to learn. There are lots of information in this website, but today we're going to talk about DCP. We will jump right into DCP. Leadership Central. And you can see Leadership Central. We see Club Central, Club Officer 2, and so on until the month end closing date. We will go to Club Central. No, we'll go to Distinguished Performance Report, DCP, right? And then after that, I will go to Club Central with you after the break. But look at this, District Central. If you are district leaders, you can access District Central. Actually, I cannot, but today I have the password from district, so I can. And also, if you are not officer, if you are only members of a club or many clubs, you are not officer, you will not able to access Club Central. So Club Central is only for club officers, but the rest with the Club Central and District Central, all the rest you can go, you can access. So today we're gonna go to this Distinguished Performance Report. Click. If you have your mobile, you can follow me. And then you can see all the dashboard of all districts in the world, more than 100 districts. So what is our district number? My question. Anyone can tell me? 97P, right? So we look for 97. You know region 13, right? And district 97. Click 97. Click. You don't have to be officer. You can access this to see your club's health. You are healthy or you are sick. You see from DCP. Because as I told you before, DCP is a vital sign of your club. Do you want your DCP to be healthy or you want your DCP to be sick? It's up to you. As officer, you can manage that. So district performance, you can see. Yes, you can check now. But what we are going to do for the club officer is not district. This is a district leaders have to check every once in a while. So now we go to club performance. Yes. And what is your club? What is your club? Which club you want to see? Buni, you are from Malaysia. You may check your district 87, and then you can see your club, right? And Bruce from Chiang Rai. Bruce, can you hear me, Bruce? Bruce, hello, good evening. Bruce, you can follow us. You can check Chiang Rai Toastmasters, and Lana and Blob, they know well, I believe. So we will go to, for example, I will use my home club, Chiang Mai Toastmasters Club. We belong to Division B and Area 3, Chiang Mai Toastmaster, you see. And Bruce, you can see Chiang Rai here. I will check Chiang Mai Toastmasters Club by click this. I will see my dashboard. You see, you can check yours or you can check other club, your friends. You know every clubs in the world, how they are doing. You see, it's fun, right? It's something like a cockpit. You are the pilot. You see everything in here. Now let's see what the DCP tell us. I have 15 minutes. Anyone please help me to warn me with the time sign. So now you can see Chiang Mai Toastmasters Club. We have base. This is a base 21 members. At the end of the term, last term, we have 21. But now, to date, we have 18. We need 2 more to be 20, right? Because we require 20. But this is a trick. You may have 20 now, but you might not be qualified at the end of June next year, because it will be qualified, our club will be qualified for DCP if we have 20 members, paid member at the end of, that means April due is so crucial for every club. You want to be qualified. April next renewal period. So be aware. Now 18 is nothing because it's not counted yet. So now you see the goal we achieved already. Chiang Mai Toastmaster, we achieved 3 goals already. 3 goals. And the check, you can see which goal we achieved, right? You can see we will go into detail about each and every goal. And if we achieve 5, we will become recognized as a distinguished club. 7, select distinguished, and the highest is president distinguished. So my question is, as the officers, what is your goal? What is your goal? To be a distinguished club, select distinguished club, or president distinguished club? So the goal will be, you have to brainstorm your team, include members in the goal setting. So we'll see how we can meet at the end of June next. It will be covered in 1 year from July 1st to June 30th. So you can see now Chiang Mai, we have to make sure that we have 20 members at the end of June. That means the next renewal is crucial for us. Now we don't know yet. In April, we have to work very hard to renew and make new members. So now we can go ahead with this. I want to share with you that we have DCP. I can summarize in acronym TEAM, TEAM. TEAM is good to remember that. And TEAM means for me is, I will start from the letter T, training. Goal number 7, new members. If we have 4 new members, we got 1 goal met, goal number 7. And if we have another 4 in 1 year, in 1 year, we have goal number 8, right? Now you see Chiang Mai, we have only 3 new members at the moment. We have no goal in membership, in the membership. Oh, sorry, I talk about training, you see, sorry. Training, the T, the letter T. There are 2 club officer training sponsored by district. And the first one is already done, right? Chiang Mai, we did great. We have 7 officers. The requirement is at least 4 officers must be trained by district. So we have 7. That is not normal. Great. Everyone joined the online meeting last time. And we're gonna have in November to February, another 4 officers must attend. And only you attend both, you have this goal. If you attend only half, you get nothing. So you get nothing, or you have to attend both training. So November to February is the second COT. So be aware that we have to train. And now we talk about team, right? The first one is T. Now come to E, education. In education, we have 6 goals. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all about education. Education. So the letter E, education, level 1. So if member, now we don't talk about all system anymore because we finished all education system already. So it's all about pathway. So if you have 4 members achieve level 1, you have met 1, yes, 1 goal, goal number 1. But Chiang Mai, we have only 2 members achieve level 1. We need another 2 to meet the goal number 1. So the next one is level 2 award. The pathway number, we need 2 members to complete level 2. Now we did it. That's why we have a check, right? We finished this goal already, Chiang Mai. And goal number 3 is more level 2 award. So goal number 1, level 1 award, 4 members achieve, we got 1. Level 2 award, 2 members achieve level 2, goal number 2 achieve, but more level 2, another 2, another 1 go. I still our club still need 2 more. Level 3 award, just 2 you achieve. We did it already. You see, level 3. And goal number 5, level 4 or level 5 or DTM, just only 1 member achieve this. You get 1 goal for the club. And goal number 6, 1 more, the same as goal number 5. You receive that. So this is the detail in detail, the criteria in detail. You may have to study again. Just I will go quickly. Now we have TE, now M. M is about membership. No, A, sorry. A is administration. Administration, very simple. Make sure your membership renewal is on time. So every 6 months, right? We have April due, we have October dues. Make sure 8 member renew, or not only renew but reinstate and new, brand new also count. So if you have 8 members, paid member, by the end of the term to renew for the next 6 months, you done. You get this goal already. So it's very easy. If you have 7 officers, right? Plus immediate, plus president. If you are the good role model, 7 officers plus immediate, plus president, renew first, then it's done. The rest member will follow you. So it's simple, right? That is a secret. I always did that in my club. All officers and immediate past president did it first, then everyone follow. So that is the M, right? TEAM. So we have 6 goals in education. We have 1 goal in training, goal number 9, and we have administration 1 goal, and then membership 2 goals. So most of the goal is about education. So all of this, if you have 5, you will become distinguished club. If you have 7, you will become select distinguished and recognized by the district and by Toastmaster International. When you look at your dashboard, it will appear. And 9, yeah, we always go for 9. And it depends on your club at the moment. If you are new, go for 5, it's okay. But if you are 1 or 2 years, you can go for 7 or 9. And then you can identify your resource, which member progress, and you can support them. Yes, to assign them the speaking slot, and then they will achieve accordingly. You have to identify the resource, identify the members who can help to achieve each and every goal. But for this, for new members, it's mostly led by VPM membership, right? And officer training should be encouraged by VPE, and then membership renewal and so on. Administration secretary should be the one who follow, and treasurer, right? So make sure that the 4 bodies. Have you seen the 4 bodies? Nobody, everybody, somebody, anybody. The saying, right? Make sure that everyone know their duties. That's why we need club officer training. So we don't leave any gap that no one do the job. So that is about DCP. So the leaders in the district, when they look at your club DCP, they know right away what is your weak area. For example, if the district leader, area director, they look at Chiang Mai Toastmasters Club and they want to visit, before the area director visit, they will look at this. So then they can help in which area. They can prepare the medicine for that. For example, in Chiang Mai, we may have to focus on the membership. because we have only 3 and we believe we can do more. For education might be quite okay because it's now only 2 or 3 months from the beginning of the term. And the training of officers, we did well, so no worry. And the administration, we are okay. So 2 areas for Chiang Mai Toastmaster is about membership and education. So we are quite strong in my point of view. So you can look at your club. Yes, I think my time is almost up or up already. Lana, can you? Yes. Any question? Yes. Wuni, yes, please.
Yes, Colonel. I have a question regarding on the top of the screen. You have a summary of your membership. The base is 21 and your required is 20.
Correct.
So does it mean that because the last term you end up with 21 members, does it mean for this term, so long as the net you have 1 member drop out, but you have zero new members, means at the end of this term, you only have 20 existing members and you are still meeting the requirement?
Exactly. At the end of June next year, if Chiang Mai can have 20 paid member, we are qualified. So make sure that you may have 9 points, 9 goal met, but this is the very, very important criteria. The first criteria to be qualified. And there are two information I would like to share is, thank you for your question, Wuni. If at the beginning of the term, you start with 21, the best for the previous term, right? You have to have 20 to be qualified. But in case you start with 10 members at the end of the term, the base is 10. So the net growth will be applied. So you need only 10 plus 5 to be qualified. You see what I mean? My question now, if you start the term with 18, what you should have at the end of term to be qualified? If you start the term with 18 members, anyone can tell me when? If you start the term with 18, base.
Is it 20 members?
Exactly. You don't have to add 5, just add 2 to become 20. It's done. Correct.
So
but if you start the term, yes, please.
For your club, this 20 members is already inclusive of the 3 new members?
The 3 new members is included.
Okay.
Yes, included in 18. Actually, we have 19, but still waiting for payment. So we have no problem with this term. But as I mentioned, this is not the right time to judge that we are qualified or not. The right time will come in April. April is a crucial time to decide that you are qualified or not. So make sure that you renew at the end of the year, the last 6 months, I mean, the second half. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everything is okay for you at the moment, and you can go back and check, and have any question, you can contact me later. Thank you. Back to Rob. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you, Tanu. So yeah, a very important part of the program. So something that you would need to explain as a mentor. So really important to get the grips of that and know how it all works. So, all right, let's move on then. So now we're going to talk about how to make meetings interesting. And I could talk a little bit about that because last year I was Vice President of Education at Bangkok Advance. And one of the things we tried to work on during that year was to combine a high standard of education with a lot of fun. We wanted the meeting to be fun and enjoyable, interesting, but also make sure we kept up the quality education. So hopefully I can share my screen and we can just talk about that for a few minutes. All right, so how to make meetings interesting and have fun while you learn. So first of all, let's start about how you can set up for success from the beginning. And I think it's a really good idea if you can create a theme for each meeting you do. Some clubs do this and some don't. But what we found is that if you get a good theme, it really helps to attract people to the meeting. You get more members attending. And if you're good with on the PR side, get the mess out of there. An interesting theme will attract a lot of guests and hopefully they will become members. So that really makes a difference in terms of the kind of whole atmosphere at the meeting and keeping everything vibrant and interesting. And we also discovered that the type of theme you choose is important as well. You want something that they see it on Facebook or Meetup or whatever, and they think, wow, that sounds interesting. I definitely want to go to that. And if you do that, you can do really well with the guests and everything else. So that's a really good place to start. And the second thing I would suggest is you need the energy in the room with every meeting. So you want to start with a bang. We did that literally. We bought a gong and we used the gong to literally bang every meeting over. And that was something that it was a little bit special to our club, and it just got the meetings off to a good start. So we also had the president of the club doing a very short 2-minute introduction. And the aim of that was really to raise the energy in the room and to talk very briefly about the theme, but really to get everybody hyped up. And that really helps if you can do that. So you want to create energy and get everybody excited about the meeting, and then people will be more engaged and more involved, and everything will go really well. So during the meeting, you want to keep the energy high all the way through. So I would suggest minimize the formalities. Some clubs are more formal than others, but if you want to keep meetings interesting, then you don't want to get bogged down in too many of the formalities. So if you can, of course, some things are important. You should run your meetings on time and do the important things, but you don't want the boring bits to kind of drag the meeting backwards. So keep the energy up, keep it going. And we found it's really good to involve guests in the meeting. Again, not every club does that. I know there are some clubs where guests basically just sit at the back and watch, and they're not allowed to engage at all. But we find it's much more effective to give guests the opportunity to be involved. Sometimes they don't want to, maybe they're too shy, but if they're up for it, just get them involved in things like round robins and possibly table topics, or at a very minimum, get them to introduce themselves as a guest, and that really helps to improve the engagement. And it's also a good idea to try and involve everyone in the room. So there are always going to be some extroverts who are always up for table topics and whatever else is going on, and there'll be others who like to sit and not do very much. But it really helps to create a better atmosphere if you can get the quieter people involved as well, and make it a club for everyone. And that's a really good way to go. So things you can do during the meeting. If your club does round robin sessions, if you don't do them, I suggest you consider them, because they are a really good way of getting people involved. You get everyone involved in just doing a short 30-second segment, and that really helps everybody liven up and open up. But anyway, keep that session moving, keep it lively, make sure that you have a timer who gongs or times people out when they go over the time, because some people will otherwise talk on and on and on and take up 5 minutes when it should be 30 seconds. So you need to be on top of that. And with table topics, there is some room for creativity. Of course, we have kind of format for table topics, but sometimes you can be a bit flexible and do something a bit interesting and that's fun and that people really enjoy doing. So, and overall, just encourage a little bit of spontaneity. Of course, we want to stick to the rules and do the things we need to do as Toastmasters, but that doesn't mean we can't have a bit of fun and do something off the cuff as well. So here are a few fun ideas that I've seen working. Fun for Friday Club, every week or every meeting, they have a joke telling session. And I think that's absolutely fantastic idea. So it definitely is fun for Friday. So The jokes are not always the funniest in the world, but it doesn't matter. Everybody gets involved and has a chance to chip in and tell a joke, and that really kind of lightens the atmosphere. Something I saw at Capital Toastmasters was a backwards meeting. Now, you certainly won't want to do that for every meeting, but well, as a one-off, it's a great idea. And the idea is that you have your normal agenda, but you start at the end of the agenda and work backwards. So this means you get the general evaluation first, and then you get the evaluation and then the speech. So it was very unusual and quite a challenge because certainly a challenge for the speakers. The evaluator gave the evaluation first, and then the speaker had to fit in with whatever the evaluator had said they'd done. So that was a lot of fun. So that's the kind of thing you can do to make things a little bit interesting. And another good idea is to have some replacement activities, because quite frequently you're going to get someone cancels a speech at the last minute and you've got 10 minutes. And you don't want to have 10 minutes of empty space. So think about something you can do in that time. Have some activity, which is a kind of Toastmasters related, obviously. That's something that's fun and everybody can involve in to fill that time in a productive but also entertaining way. So just a few more suggestions. Instead of just having one host, you could have two. I saw Capital Toastmasters did this at their, was it 1000th meeting? I think it was a month or two ago. And for their table topic sessions, they had two table topic masters, one male, one female, and they kind of worked together as a pair, and that was fantastic. It was very entertaining and made the whole session a lot more interesting and fun than it would have been otherwise. So that works really well. You can also hold workshops, which is something we've done at Bangkok Advanced. We've had DTM Arnie doing workshops for us on evaluations, and you've got one coming up in a couple of weeks on different topics. So things like that are really fun to do, and they make meetings a little bit different and keep everybody engaged and interesting. And we've also done meetings at different venues. We've done meetings at Bistro 33, which is a restaurant pub in Soy 33 that has a function room, and we wanted to give our members a chance to speak in a different environment. So we did there, and it's more like a kind of social evening environment. So that was different, and everybody enjoyed the challenge of doing that. So basically, there are all kinds of things you can do. Another good idea is to celebrate anniversaries of the club. So with Capital, we did, they had their 1000th anniversary meeting, but you can do it with smaller anniversaries as well. Maybe your 100th meeting or 150th, whatever it is, just a little small celebration to make them fun. And perhaps if you have members who have birthdays during a meeting or around that time, you can celebrate that as well. For example, my birthday last year, Lana suddenly appeared with a surprise cake, which was awesome. And that was a lot of fun. So that's a really good idea. And if you can get Lana to make the cake for you, that's even better. So, and one final thing, I would say make the most of the fellowship break. That's a really good opportunity for people to get together and chat because people come to Toastmasters to have fun and make friends, as well as all the educational and personal development benefits. So it's a good idea to have coffee and snacks and give everybody a chance to enjoy that little bit of social time together. So that's pretty much all of it for that one. So guess I might as well go straight into my second session. What the other thing we want to talk about is how to evaluate a speech. And again, this is important to, this is something you'll need to explain to a club. For people joining a new club, they'll know nothing about evaluations, how to do them, why they're important. So if you're a mentor, it's really important that you get across the message to them that this is why they do evaluations and how to do them. So let's take a quick look at that. So evaluate to motivate. So evaluations are an opportunity for everyone to improve. The whole point of Toastmasters is that we keep improving and learning from our fellow members, and evaluations are a really important part of that. So obviously they're great for speakers because they get immediate feedback, and we all need that. Sometimes we think we delivered a perfect speech until we hear from an evaluator and realize maybe it wasn't so great after all. So it's really good to have that feedback. And of course, we all need to improve. Even the champions can always do better. So it's always good to show different ways they can improve, whether it's the writing, the delivery, vocal delivery, and the physical performance. All those things we need to work on. And evaluations are important because they help people build their self-esteem. They will feel themselves getting better speech by speech. Sometimes as you progress through Toastmasters, you don't realize you're improving until you look back to the kind of speech you did 6 months ago or a year ago, and you realize that you've improved so much. And it's the feedback you get from other members that makes that possible. So there are different ways to do evaluating, but tell and sell is one approach. So the evaluator talks and the speaker listens. So as an evaluator, you are actually giving a speech. It's not just a conversation one-on-one with the speaker, but you're talking to the whole room, and you're giving the speaker feedback, which everyone else can learn from. So if a good evaluation starts before the speech happens, you really need to understand the objectives of the speech, and you need to have the guidelines for the evaluation, of course, and so be prepared beforehand. And it's a good idea to talk to the speaker about any concerns they may have, and they may also have some specific points where they want feedback. So you might ask them, if, what can I give you feedback on? And they'll say, I really want to, and we're trying to improve my vocal variety, so I'd like some feedback on that, or body language, or something else. So really work one-on-one with the speaker and find out how you can best help them with the evaluation. So when the speech is happening, yeah, you should absolutely show that you're interested. The speaker is probably going to be looking at you, knowing that you're going to be doing the evaluation. So if you're looking at your phone or something, looking bored, that's not really a great impression. So yeah, look interested and put yourself in the position of the speaker. It's remember what it is they're talking about, why they're talking about it, and try and see things from their perspective, and bear that in mind when you're doing the evaluation. And of course, you should take notes, because depending how your club does the evaluation, it might be an hour or so before you actually get up and do the evaluation on the speech. And you might think you're going to remember all the points you wanted to make, but you probably won't. So take notes and use those to give a good evaluation. And when it comes to actually presenting your evaluation, as I said, this is a speech in itself. So you should present it in that way. Be selective about your words. That's something you want to think about between the speech and your evaluation. Use that time to consider what you're going to say. And always remember that you are only evaluating this particular speech. So it's not a feedback on the speaker directly. This is just where they are right now and what's happening with that one particular speech. And we always want to promote self-esteem. For sure, yes, you should give some constructive points for improvement, but always in a positive way. We always want speakers to feel good about what they've done. And I have heard evaluators who have basically completely trashed the speaker, and that's not a good way to do it. So keep it the overall tone positive. Yeah, avoid being disingenuous. That's a big word. So, but basically, just be honest. Don't try. We don't any kind of double speak. Just tell the speaker what you think, and overall, the message should be upbeat. Yes, you want to give them some points for improvement and suggest what things they can work on. But it's a good idea to do the good old sandwich feedback, where you start with something positive, then you move on to the ideas for improvement, and then you wrap up again with something positive. So once you've wrapped up, you want to connect back to your opening. So again, this is because your evaluation is a speech in itself. So you want to present the whole thing should be a kind of coherent whole. So link back to your opening idea, summarize the main points that you you've addressed, just to remind the speaker and the audience what the important things are. And if you can include any personal stories, that's a good idea. Or if you can illustrate what you're talking about by acting out. If it's body language, you can give an example of acting out, or vocal variety, things like that. So whatever you can do to make it more illustrative and demonstrative, that's going to help. And of course, you should encourage your listeners, not just the speaker, but everybody in the room. Everybody is there to learn, and everybody can learn from the evaluation and apply the feedback in their own speeches. So I think that's the end of that one. So I'll stop my screen share. And that's all for part one. So shall we take a break for 10 minutes and come back at 8 o'clock? All right. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in 10 minutes.